Good evening, Tarot fans, and welcome to Tarot Thursday. This is Reverend Mary Hawk. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. It's our 4th of July edition, and you might be able to hear the boomies going off in the background. So, thanks for everyone who is joining me tonight. Bryan could not be with us this evening, but he and Elvis do say hello. So if you have a tarot question, please go ahead and post it in the comments. And I will be doing a 3-card, more or less, tarot spread. And if you don't have a question, just go ahead and say hi. So I hope everyone in the U.S. had a safe and happy 4th and still has all their body parts. And hello to Janet. Good to see you. We've had a fairly quiet day here. Hella does not like all the boomies. Hella is my dog, so she's down the hall with my husband. She's had her calming meds. And if anyone has a tarot question, just go ahead and post it in the chat. Hi, Renee. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good week. And I've certainly enjoyed a day off from work. I slept in all the way to 8 a.m., y'all. Fancy that. And if you got a question, go ahead and post it for me. And Renee would like a general reading. Happy to do that for you, Renee. Let me get my cards shuffled up here. Did anyone go and see fireworks today? As you can see, I'm shuffling here. And hello to everyone who just joined us. Welcome to the July 4th edition of Tarot Thursday. Well, hello, Reverend Don. Good to see you. And you've got them right outside your window. It sounds like they're outside my window. I think they're a couple of houses down, but they're certainly loud enough here. All right, Renee. The first card I've got for you is the Seven of Lamps. And this lamp card is about cleansing. It's about letting go of anything in the past that might be holding you back. And it's moving forward, cleansed of anything else. And then I've got magic. And magic means just that. You really do have the ability to manifest anything you want. And then finally, I've got the Two of Wands, and that means you're moving into some new situations. So I hope that's helpful for you, Renee. Janet says she didn't go and see fireworks because they have been in her neighborhood all month long. Not all month for me, but at least the past week. So, anybody else have a question for me right now? Good news is, I believe the heat has broken. We actually have a heat index of less than 90 degrees here. I am so happy. Alrighty, Janet has asked for a general reading. Wonderful. Let me finish shuffling here, Janet. Good. So the first two cards I've got for you are the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So both of these cards are talking about having a firm foundation in the material realm. Uh, you have what you need in order to achieve your goals, and you're able to plan accordingly. And then I've got the Ace of Lamps. And in this deck, lamps are the suit of spirituality and magic. And the Ace is saying it's time to focus some intention and time on that part of your life. So I hope that is helpful for you, Janet. And I would like to add, if you would like to book a private reading with myself or Reverend Don or Reverend Bryan, you can do so at divinationtv.com, your destination for all things divination. You are very welcome, Janet. And also, if you are interested in ordering the Tarot of Hecate, the deck that Reverend Don and I read from on this show, you can do that by going to CarelianPublishing.com, collections, and the Infinite Tarot, and pushing the button for Tarot of Hecate. And once we get 10 orders, we'll be able to place the order for that. You are welcome, Renee. All right. Who else has a question for me tonight? And Anissa says Zoe got out of the hospital on Tuesday. I'm so happy to hear that. Maria Law says husband passed, need direction moving out. Maria, I am so sorry to hear that. I'll be happy to do a reading for you. Just a moment here. All right, so I had a jumper. So the first card, the one that jumped out, is the Two of Wands, and it does suggest that there is something entirely new on the horizon for you. And I know it's a hard thing for you right now, but I think you need to view this in light of a new adventure. And hello to Reverend Michael. And then, yes, I got the Queen of Swords for you. Yes, it's me. When Reverend Don did the Kickstarter for this deck, one of the options was to commission a card, and I asked him to do me as the Queen of Swords. And this card is telling you to look at your past. What worked for you in the past? What didn't work for you in the past? You're, and Maria says you're 68. Well, realistically, Maria, you probably have another 20, 25 years at this point. So you've got time for new adventures. So as you're moving on with your life, look at what worked for you in the past, what didn't work for you, and make your decisions based on that. The next card I've got for you is the Nine of Wands. And here we see a woman who's sitting in prison. And what this card means is you might have been feeling kind of stuck. And in your situation, that's understandable, but things are going to start moving for you soon. And then finally, I've got heart, which means, of course, you're very, very emotionally wrapped up in this situation. And feel your emotions, go with what you're feeling, but be ready for things to move for you. So I hope you find that helpful. And Anissa asks, what meds does Hella take? I need to get them for my dog, Ladybug. We just came in because of the fireworks. Honestly, I go to our local pet store and I get some calming meds with chamomile and I have a hard time with this word, tryptamine. It's what the in turkey that helps you fall asleep when you eat too much of it at Thanksgiving. So you can certainly find that. It doesn't totally calm her down, but it helps. Oh, and we have got a guest coming in. Here is Ed Hubbard. I'm glad that helped you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy 4th.
Yeah. So
And
happy Fourth, absolutely. It's quite living on a town on the border of Indiana, a legal fireworks state, in a state that is not legally having fireworks. It's quite interesting. It's a little bit bombastic around here. So is Chicago, but it's a little bit more unexpected here.
all right.
We have a southern
And
road.
tell us,
I,
go
I,
ahead.
I was just saying, we have a southern road here going in and out of Danville. On one side are people coming in from Indiana, which is not a legal marijuana state, or right. So they drive here for marijuana, and then we have on the other direction, we have people getting cigarettes and fireworks because cigarettes are way cheaper taxes. So we're a good self commerce state.
All right. And Ed is here to talk to us about an exciting new project.
Yeah, it's called Pagan World Congress, and while not much into divination, we are going to need a lot of divining to get there. Uh, we're hunting down, and we're going to be going ahead and going to try to gather pagans from around the world, and we've already begun a really good job. I got an amazing team. Mary Hawk is our executive administrator, so that'll be good. We have about 12 people who are joining the main team from around the world, and we're going to try to meet with as many of us as we can next October 9th to the 13th. And yes, I did a tarot card reading on it. It may seem like a long way away, but it's not. Um, but I've been involved with other large events too, like this one for tarot specifically.
When
Uh,
was that?
in 1997, with Janet Barris, Queen of Earth and Sky, one of my bosses. At this point, I had gone to the Parliament. She did the World Tarot Congress. In 1997 is when I helped her. We built it from scratch up. I was one of her assistants. Her vision, her job, her contacts, a lot of manual labor. And she did it again in '99, which I helped a little bit with, and then 2000, and then the next one was 2003. And she only conducted three of them in her time. Yeah, and it was called the World Tarot Congress. And so this idea of creating these ideas of it, and people get lost in it. But this is on a divination Thursday. People really love the divination. And I think it's very important that we try to see into the future and try to protect those rights of people to divine. They may not realize it, but oftentimes when religious groups rise, especially Christian groups and mumbler groups and behavioral control groups, um, try to get into it. I used to have the chat on the side. Try to get into it. They One of the first places they've gone, and they still do, is after the tarot reader, the people who make the money at the base level.
So, tell us a little bit more about your vision. We're looking at having several different tracks of presentations.
Well, let's start with the highest level of it. We plan to have it online, and there's two degrees of participation, or one's non-participation but observation. Through our various channels that we have spent a long time building out there, uh, video channels, audio channels, let's call them podcasts. Divination TV is an example of that. Yeah, we've built out of it. We will have this sort of idea of broadcasting some of these events, and people can watch them, but they cannot participate. You can become a member of Pagan World, and you will be. And $29.99 is still our one-time membership fee. We are not looking to make a lot of money, but just enough to start covering our costs. Um, and it's a one-time membership fee, and you can attend this event and get a vote. This is a very important aspect. There will times when we will need to know what the audience is feeling, what the members are doing, what do we really want to do. And there's not a lot of places you get to vote for that. And I'm a big believer in spiritual democracy. Um, Beyond that are going to be various tracks of what we deal in the real world. And one of them, I think, is going to have to, at least some of the workshops, are going to have to be about how do we permit ourselves to be legalizing tarot readings, divinations, etc. And so that we have these sort of events. How do we make our money? How do we make our income with prophetic arts, divine arts, spellcraft? So that's one track we're going to have to deal with because each country, each state, each city has their own rules. But what do we have in common that can help each other? What can we do about it? Like Danville, Illinois has no laws. I can open a psychic parlor here tomorrow, no problem. Not enough of an audience, but we could. But there are places in New York and Chicago where you have to be zoned and licensed in a certain place. And the queen of all legalization and the queen of all licensing for psychics is Salem, Massachusetts. And New Orleans has the opposite. You can go do it anywhere you want to. It's cutthroat competition because there's no one ever stopping you in the high tours. So those examples of those laws are inherently very important to a pagan world.
Right.
Hmm. And that's a $2 billion
And
industry in the United States alone.
exactly. And if someone's interested in participating, how do they contact us?
Well, you can just go to pagan.world, register for the site. If you don't want to, just say you can contact me, DM me, or paganworldcongress at gmail.com. Pagancongressworld at gmail.com. Or you can contact us through any number of different means. By this time next week, I'm hoping to have, we're going to have forms starting to collect for call for papers and presentations and panels. I've already gotten some really powerful ones. I have Damon Luff of South Africa, one of the very first person I contacted because of his issues in South Africa. And
That's exciting.
it's way worse than it. I want to use the word exciting. It's not exciting, but it is. I'm enthusiastic of dealing with these issues because they're not exciting issues; they're horrifying. You know, they
The issues are horrifying, but it is, I'll say incredible. It is incredible that we've already got participation from South Africa and the Philippines, and we just started this a couple of weeks ago.
and also Europe. We've already got Europe stepping in. So yeah, with Chris Copeland. So you can go out there. So if you want to join, and especially you guys, because your audience, you're so new, and so many are already pagan world citizens. You're already a citizen. You've got this in the bag, and you get to start participating. Um, I did a reading at one time for it. You know, of course we do, as we do. Um, but I'm very excited about it. If anyone knows what this is the world card. This is the chariot card and the world card put together. This is my visualization of it. We're going through the world. And the last thing I think we're going to have, this is going to be a lot of fun, is we're going to have town halls. Mm-hmm. These are going to be localized events, which can be broadcast, will be recorded, but can also be broadcast, but also just be recorded to talk about really local aspects. And if you really want to do something in your local area, that's where one of the places I'd really like to get people involved with are these town halls.
So if you're interested in hosting a local town hall in your area, let us know.
So now you know.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and I appreciate a few moments of it. But if you really ever want to find something fascinating about the world, the World Congress of Tarot or the International Tarot Conference of 1997 by Janet Barris, if you want to hear talk about a little bit of history, that's a terrific piece of history. Uh, so thank you, Mary, for having me, and more ahead.
More ahead. Thanks for joining us, Ed. Have a great evening. All right, everyone. So check out pagan.world and the Pagan World Congress. That will be October 9th through the 15th, 2025. And catching up in chat, Anissa offers her condolences to Miss Maria. And Anissa asked for a general reading as well, so we'll do that. Mm. I'm trying to regard all the little pops going on outside as kind of a drum circle, just keeping that energy going. All right, Anissa, the first card I've got for you tonight is the Six of Cups. And this is suggesting you may be reconnecting with an old friend. It could be a love interest or it could be a friendship. The next card I've got for you is the Stars. And when this card comes up, we see somebody sitting here meditating and we see their spirit starting to rise. So it's suggesting that you need to be meditating, working on connecting with your higher self at this time. And then finally, I've got the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is about moving forward with something you're working on with the help of someone else. So, whatever you're working on, you might want to look for a mentor, and I hope that is helpful. All right. And Reverend Don had mentioned that the International Tarot Congress was quite an event. I wish I had heard of that, but honestly, I had not started on my pagan path in 1997. So there we are. I did not get started till 1998. So, does anybody else have a question for me? So, again, if you want to book a private reading, you can do so at divinationtv.com. And because we are kind of quiet tonight, which I thought we might be since it's a holiday, if nobody else wants a reading, I am going to shut down early tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining me. And I do want to add, please check us out at pagan.world. And if you have ideas for something you might want to submit for the Pagan World Congress, be looking for those forms to be going up in the next week or so. So, thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening and blessed be.